It's the show
After the show.
Where's everybody at?
AJ, Meemaw,
I
producer
was
Butters, and
just
myself.
chiming in, and then you stopped.
Sorry, I went reverted back to my old days where I just listened to the other two.
Okay.
At least I did my part. You didn't even care.
I appreciate it. I was focusing on the fact that there was normally this
It was a train wreck.
large, glorious melody when I say after the show, and instead it was a solo, which, fun fact about me in band, when I was in middle school and high school, neither of my band directors liked me because like, we think you should do solos. And I'm like, no. And they're like, no, you should. I'm like, not going to happen, bro. Anyway, Gross and Ghost. So let's focus on the first one. Let me give credit to credit where credit is due. Do you guys like Peeps?
No,
Easter
absolutely
weekend.
not.
No.
Peeps, yes. Delicious.
Cassandra said, have the great Peeps debate. And I figured, okay, let's do it. We're heading into Easter weekend anyway. Why are you a terrible person?
What? It's literally marshmallows with sugar on it.
It's literally
Exactly.
marshmallows covered with colored sawdust.
It's
I would agree.
delicious.
It's not.
They're delicious.
They are
bad.
not delicious. They are
So
nasty.
They're horrible. They're nasty.
I don't know why, but all the ones that I've ever like tried to eat were like hard as a rock.
I put them
Well,
in the same.
because you probably have them open for like a weekend and then eat it. That's why they get hard.
I put them in the same category as candy corn.
Yes.
I like candy corn
I don't
too.
mind
Are
candy
you serious?
You suck.
But here's the thing: I don't mind candy corn.
What?
Suck too.
That's so gross.
It's so yummy.
I imagine eating a Peep is like what tasting just a little bit of paint is, because there's always that weird metallic aftertaste. I imagine that's what that is.
So if I had
What?
to pick between a Peep and a candy corn, I'd choose the candy corn.
I would choose probably the candy corn.
I would
That's safe,
still
because I
choose
can't stand
Peeps.
candy corn.
Like I like candy corn, but I like Peeps better. It's literally marshmallows.
Covered in sawdust.
Covered in
Then
sugar.
Sprayed and
I don't
glitterified.
like the covered. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of marshmallow itself.
Have you roasted a Peeps?
We should have a
No, see,
s'more
because
peep.
generally when it no, absolutely
Nah,
not. Do
no.
not do that. Because when I go out, I just get normal marshmallows because they're actual marshmallows as opposed to imitation marshmallows, which Peeps 100% are.
Fun fact: my family likes to go to the park. I think most families do. And one
No way.
Fun fact: I like to go to the park. Anybody got a minute hand?
Shush.
Say aye.
Wow, it's a rarity to see that.
Listen.
Look, I didn't have a family growing up. That's offensive to me. I gotta be
I'm
honest.
sorry. I'm so sorry. But anyways, one Easter we forgot to buy marshmallows, so my brother had the brilliant idea to roast Peeps.
Why?
Best decision
What
ever.
in the
So
world?
good.
Well, you know, if
How do
you
they
melt
burn?
off the
Yeah.
metallic toxic coating, it might actually not be bad.
Would you get crystal like hardened sugar around it? Like, does it actually like burn or anything?
No, it just gets. I don't know.
Does it
I don't
go
know how to
big?
describe it.
Let's put one in the microwave and see what happens.
They explode.
That's not the same thing.
They go.
Yeah, we're gonna need.
No,
put
but it
something
You
would
ever
be
over
seen?
funny.
You ever see that movie where somebody gets infected and they're like, "Get away from me"? It's like that, and they're just God. That's what happens.
Yes.
Same thing.
Nice visual.
If you're gonna make a terrible movie, you could just put a Peep in a microwave and pretend that was the same thing.
Instead of Sharknado, it's now
A
Peepnado.
low budget film. Okay. So speaking of gross, the whole thing that brought up the gross part of this half of the podcast. is So Ajay did this awful thing this morning. He goes, I want to talk about ghosts. I was like, okay, cool, let's talk about ghosts. And he proceeded to make fun of it for the next 5 minutes. But Ajay's example was he said he had a soda disappear from the fridge. And I said, do not blame that on the Radio Ranch ghost. There are people that are notorious for doing that here, and it's not the ghost.
Hold on, what was the soda?
Diet Mountain Dew.
That wasn't me.
I don't drink Mountain Dew. I also don't steal from fridges because I'm not a terrible human being.
Yeah, me neither.
Who else drinks that Mountain Dew here?
I know 3 people who
A
do.
couple of people do.
Yeah.
I don't
I
want to
know
put them
3
on
people who
blast at this point, but there are a couple people.
Yep.
So that
Okay.
being said, so he mentioned that. So we got this call, which we're going to probably work in the show on Monday, but we got this call about how to stop that particular problem.
So I worked at this place for 17 years, and there was somebody that would always steal your food out of the fridge.
What a jerk.
So me and my best friend that worked there, we were like, all right, we're going to get this guy. We're going to find out who it is. So we made some cat food tacos.
Oh,
Disgusting.
So we got some Frisky Brands cat food, and we put it in tacos, and we put stuff on it. Made it look like it was somebody's lunch. We put it in the fridge, and it was a down day for us, so we were just kind of camping out in the break room to see what happened. And sure enough, here he comes, and it was a new hire guy, and he come in, he went to the fridge, he just stands there for a second. He gets it out, takes it over, warms it up in the microwave, sits down like it's his own lunch, and me and my friend Aaron, we are dying. It's like everything we can do to not just start instantly laughing. So he sits down, he's about halfway through the first taco, and my buddy Aaron, he's a bodybuilder, and he just yells out, "How's the cat food tacos, buddy?" And he's like, "What?"
Wow.
What?
Credit to Thane. Thane called in with that
What
story.
do you mean? It's good.
Well, it
Disgusting.
sounds like he was enjoying it if he was halfway through the taco.
Okay, so the only thing, I would never, like Ajay and we were talking about this, like I would barf trying to make these, but
Yeah,
the only thing
me
I could
too.
picture is that Shauna has given me so much crap before about, I think I brought fish in, I think it's shrimp, it was shrimp one day. Can you imagine the angry memos if you microwave cat food in our work microwave?
Yeah, I probably would be writing the memo, so
With cool little pictures attached to it.
that look like diarrhea coming out of your mouth. Sorry for that visual.
A visual I didn't need.
Yeah, well, cat food tacos.
You know,
Should we
I can
try it?
handle
Should we
a
do
lot,
it? Huh?
No, Ajay,
Yeah?
don't do
Come on.
this. Don't do this.
Food
What?
taste test.
It is
again.
Ajay's fault that we had to do the first version of this crazy food thing. Don't get there and be like, let's do cat food.
Peep
No,
s'mores and cat food tacos.
you're a terrible person. You're absolutely a terrible person. Let's switch to something else that Ajay's going to be unreasonable about, and that is Ghost. Because apparently you had a weird thing that happened to you yesterday, Producer Butters?
Yes.
Okay, so what happened?
My phone just like rang, but the ringtone wasn't the ringtone for my phone.
That's weird. That's
And
very weird.
then when I picked it up, there was nothing on the screen. Like there was no notifications or no calls, nothing. It was the weirdest thing.
Okay.
So, like, when it rang, there's nothing that showed up on your screen.
Well, it was in my pocket, and I was trying to figure out what was ringing. I thought it was,
Yeah, because you asked if it was.
yeah. I was like, what?
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, that's coming from my what?
Both of
So I
us
pulled
walked
it out
over
of my
there.
pocket, and then like when I opened it up, it shut off.
Yeah.
That's weird. See, and I told him the story where I got a call from Eric one Sunday. Well, it was early Sunday morning. It was like 3:30 in the morning. And I was like, that's weird. And then I asked him the next day, and he was like, no, I didn't call you. And he showed me no call log from him. And I showed him call from you. And so phone's a little bit tricky, right, in this age of spoofing and all that. But there's 100% of Radio Ranch Ghost. The one that upsets me the
Yes.
most, and he said it today this morning, he goes, oh, the Radio Ranch Ghost makes a tree move. That tree was in a closed room with the doors closed. It was 100% the ghost.
Yes, it was.
He has a ghost show. It's called Ghost Me on another station.
You know, I think sometimes he hates these boards, and so he messes them up.
He hates our computers.
That actually might be true. Mima, please venture an opinion
I
here
can't
so
do
we
that.
can just gang up on Ajay.
Well, the fact that I've seen her twice, I'd say she's here.
So it's a female.
Wait, what did you see?
Wait.
I don't think I've heard your stories.
Well, okay, so it was like the second month I was working here. I was by myself in the front.
Right.
And Ryan, I saw him go out of his office and he walked towards the back.
And
Okay.
he's stealthy.
And then I was like
Stealthy.
working on my computer and I just saw like something in my peripheral vision like come towards me. So I look up, but there's no one there.
I
And
had
then-
that happen when we did the prank. I hate
And then
that.
I got up and I went to Ryan's office because I thought it might have been him, but he wasn't there either. So I was like, so I texted my friend. I was like, Jake, I think it's haunted here.
It is.
So,
and then,
go ahead. Sorry.
and then the
I didn't
second
mean to cut
time
you
was
off.
like, I think it was like what, last week?
I don't remember.
Well, it was recent. I was sitting at my desk and Lisa sits next to me.
Yeah.
And I saw her get up and she went somewhere. Apparently she went through the back and then went around this way. But I saw something go into the room, like the fax room right behind me. And with my peripheral vision, the way I was standing, I was seeing somebody still in there, like doing things and moving stuff around. And then Lisa comes up the hallway and I look up and I immediately turn around and there's no one there. And I was like, hello, hello, ghost.
Place is haunted.
So, if you've ever been here late at night with all the lights off, except for the area that you're in,
Yeah.
there's a lot of weird noises that I don't hear during the day.
This is true.
Okay.
Confirm.
It's very weird.
What do
I
you
can't
hear?
even explain. Just weird, like weird noises.
Okay, so my one encounter that I had, so we were doing the back to school tour. So August, right? It's hot. So I'm back in the shed getting the VFX fan, and I'm putting all my stuff on the passenger seat, and then I'm unplugging the van because that's on the passenger side. The door opens because it's got a charge for the speaker system. And so I'm closing on the side, and I'm walking around behind it to get to the driver's side to take it out and go to whatever school we're doing. So as I step behind the van, I walk through this like ice cold cloud, just freezing. And I don't stop because I pass through it and I'm like, oh my gosh, it's so cold. Why is it cold? And I go to turn around and step back through it and it's not there.
Weird.
And it's hot. It's August. It was so warm. I hate that guy. It is so warm. And I was like, that is, but the peripheral thing, we did that prank on Q and we were here late at night. And I swear, like 3 times at night, I felt like this hallway, I was standing here and then down this long hallway right here. I felt like I saw something. I turned and there's nothing there, like a person.
Yeah, it's just like that. You see it in your peripheral vision, then you turn around and it's completely gone.
Yes.
And it's like sometimes I'm like, I rationalize it like, oh, it was just like a strand of my hair messing. But like, my hair is usually up in a ponytail or a braid.
Mine, it was a
so-
person figure. It
Yeah,
was the
exactly.
shape of a person.
I think
I would literally saw this person doing things.
Ajay,
in
you're a
the,
terrible person.
I think
Fax room.
the Radio Ranch Ghost does sometimes go home with certain people.
I agree.
That's what we decided that phone call I got was. Because it
Yeah.
was at my house.
Yeah.
Though I had a medium call and say that I have a ghost cat that lives in my house because stuff randomly gets knocked over just off of shelves and stuff.
Get out of here.
The cat just,
Well, listen, let me tell you the scariest thing that's happened to me at my apartment.
okay.
And I think I told you when it was, no, I told you the next day. But I was sitting in my room and I was talking to Jake, and my TV was on because I have to have the TV on. I have to have background noise.
Yeah.
So I had the TV on, and then my TV, when it turns on or off, it makes a little doo-doo-doo-doo, doo-doo-doo-doo kind of noise.
Uh-huh.
So I was like talking to Jake, and then all of a sudden my TV turns off. It just goes doo-doo-doo, and I'm like, what the heck? And then it turns back on by itself, and I was like, hey. And then it turns, and it does it again and again. And then I tell Jake, and Jake is like, are your pets or are you sitting on the remote? And I'm like looking at the remote. It's on my nightstand, and I'm
Yeah.
like, no, it's right there. And as I pick up the controller, like I'm holding it in my hand, and my TV goes off and on. It does it about 5 more times, and then I'm like, I heard somewhere that if you say go away, you're not welcome here, they have to go away. So I did that. I was like, go away, you're not welcomed here. It did it one more time, turned off, turned back on, and then it stopped. And I was like, okay, I think it's time for bed.
Okay, so speaking of which, Vern is a good friend of the morning show, called in. He has a story somewhat similar to yours. So here's that.
Yeah, I lived in an old house down by the old Logan Coach, and we had a prankster ghost.
See, that's
It
what I'm
would
saying.
turn lights off. It would physically turn my light off in the shower when nobody was home.
See?
And the one time it really pissed me off. He never felt threatened. You know, it turned lamps off and stuff like that. But I was watching the NCAA, and Weber State was poised to upset Georgetown. They were shooting 1-1 with 6 seconds left, and right when he released the ball, the TV went off.
Oh, man.
And then as soon as it was over, the TV popped right back on.
That's why I said Radio Ranch Ghost is a prankster ghost.
I think so
Doesn't
too.
do
think so,
anything
too.
serious, just messes with people.
I mean, because like I've said, I've seen it, and I haven't really felt threatened.
No.
No,
It's-
I've never felt
Like
felt
it just
threatened
throws
either.
me off. That I'm like, what?
See, like every once in a while at my house, because I've worked here for years and years and years.
Yeah.
My radio does this thing where I'll be sitting there and it will like start turning up by itself or go down. Or there's been times where I'm like trying to turn it up and it's going down too at the same time.
Everything
I'm
I've-
like, no,
I mean,
no.
from what I've heard of ghosts, they're fascinated with electronics because they can communicate through them, so it would make sense that they biff with it.
Yeah,
It's true.
yeah.
It's true.
Been awfully quiet over there, Ajay.
I mean, not that quiet. You can hear me laughing.
You don't believe in ghosts?
All those stories, nothing.
Look, I mean, I mean, is there something out there? Maybe, I don't know, but like there'd be like there's a Radio Ranch ghost that's
There's-
making phone calls from a phone, or
Okay, but how would you explain it then?
Yeah,
don't
what
know.
is it?
I don't know. Like cell phones are weird, you guys. We know
What
that.
about my
Okay.
What about my TV? Because like my friend was like, "Are you sure you didn't have like a power surge?" And I'm like, "No, because when I have a power surge, my lights dim,
Yeah.
and then the power strip that my TV is connected to has multiple other electronics, and none of them were affected. It was just my TV that was turning
And your TV's been working
off.
fine now.
Yeah, my TV's been working perfectly, so it's not like a glitch in my TV or something.
I don't know. I'm not a technical guy. I don't understand TVs that well. Maybe there's a short in the wires. I don't know, but yeah. I mean, look, you guys had your experience with the Radio Ranch Ghost, and hope you guys get to hang out soon again. And let me know how
I
it
hope
goes.
Why
the
would you say
ghost.
that?
I hope the ghost pranks him.
I
Really
really
bad.
do.
I really do.
Sean the non-believer.
We
What is it gonna
will-
do? Like untie my shoes and tie them together, and I'm gonna walk and fall on my
She's gonna
face?
turn off your computer while you're doing
One
something
day
really
your key
important.
card just won't
don't know.
work.
Oh, that's not very nice.
Wow.
That is not very nice at
Right.
all.
Ghost is like, nope, don't want to hear.
Okay.
Let's not go too far in giving the ghost some ideas. We'll just call it here. This is the show after the show.